Welcome into the bunker, where we cover all aspects of the financial markets and give you the information you need in today's ever-changing landscape. Today, we're going to be talking about silver and some silver mining stocks that I believe are undervalued. We're also going to be talking about the silver market in general and why you should invest in silver. And silver is not just an investment grade asset. It's also an asset that is needed for green energy, and it's needed for many aspects of what we take for granted in today's world. And so I did want to cover that, and let's get right into it. While we look at the silver chart, I want to talk about silver a little bit, and we do see silver breaking out here. And this is a pretty large wedge pattern that has formed over the past year or so, even a little bit longer, maybe like a year and a half. And we have pretty much broken out of this wedge pattern at this point. And so, in terms of the weekly chart, we are looking at above all moving averages here, except this last one. And that is the 50-week moving average, which is 24.52. So we're right on the edge of that. And let me just start to talk about silver here. So we have the Fed raising rates, which I hear, there are some people who say that that's actually bearish for silver because it's bearish for the economy. I would say in some aspects, yes, it is. The Fed, basically, I think we're going to be going into a recession. And so there's going to be less demand for electric vehicle cars, as well as retail solar panels, maybe as well. Maybe even possibly retail investment demand, possibly. But the thing is that I think we're going to see rampant inflation, regardless of what the Fed thinks they can do to that. I do think that we're going to experience inflation. And so, I believe that food inflation will continue to ramp up. I think oil inflation will continue to ramp up. And so in turn, I believe that the metals are ready to rally here. I believe they've been knocked down for long enough. And I hear some people saying, deflationary environment, which we're going into. I think it's more of a deflationary environment for assets and, the economy in general. I don't think that means that we're going to get deflation in terms of goods and services, which is basically the worst, possible economic situation we could be in, which is stagflation. So I believe we will see stagflation, and in an inflationary environment, silver is a very, very good performer in inflation, in an inflationary environment. In terms of government objectives, we have governments across the world looking at a process to change the way we want to electrify the planet, right? They're not going to be able to do this without a lot more silver. There's only about 800 million ounces of silver that's produced every year. And so that's not going to be enough to fill not only investment demand, but demand from industry. There's electric batteries that use silver. If you think about this, think about this. The top 5 tech industries, which all rely on silver heavily for their products, are $5 trillion market cap combined. Probably not at this point. That was back in December. The top 50 mining companies are 500 billion. And without the top 50 mining companies, those top 5 tech companies would not be able to exist. So we have to kind of realize that gold and silver isn't just like a relic. These things are needed in industry. Gold has been accumulated by the largest countries and the largest central banks in the world. It's basically just the only place that it's not accumulated is American retail. For some reason, people have just bought into, I guess it's crypto really is what it is. And I believe that unfortunately, crypto may be compromised. And I've talked about this a little bit in the past, couple of months here, but I've really sort of awoken to crypto. And I think that there's a potential that it is a little bit of a scam. There is a potential that it is sort of a storybook sort of thing. And I think that if that is exposed, we may have a situation where people run to real things like gold and silver because they thought that Bitcoin was that gold that they thought it was. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's been used for illegal activities. Maybe it's been pumped up by Tether. Maybe it's not invented by an anonymous person who just wanted to end the banks. Maybe that was just the story that the people who created it actually created to make people think that it was going against the system. And so I'm a little bit worried that too many people are all Bitcoin and they think that's safe, and then there's zero precious metals. We also face the risk of a cyber attack with the Russian war coming. So it's time where you want physical assets in your hand. And we will also get into a few mining stocks, which we can take a look at a chart now of first Majestic. This is the monthly, and we are actually looking at the potential of a breakout here. So we can look at that while I continue to talk about this. There is tech companies that need this silver so much that they may actually start to, they can't exist without the mining. So they may actually start to acquire some of these companies if they were smart. They may start to acquire some of these mining companies. So be aware of that. We look at a company like DuPont who makes solar panels. DuPont, they work really hard to reduce the amount of silver that they need because they obviously want to reduce costs. But you can only reduce costs a certain amount until the efficiency is affected of the product. And so they've basically gone to the lowest amount that they can within the silver paste that they use for solar panels without ruining the efficiency, and they cannot reduce it anymore. We see that, in 2022, there's expected to be 140 million ounces of silver consumed in solar panels. And again, like I said, 800 million, remember, is produced each year. And the only way we get production up is if the price goes up, which we're going to need to happen here. It's basically a geo strategic metal that they need prices to go up, or else it's not economical for some of these mines to go into the Andes Mountains in Peru and start to mine these silver. So, again, we have the electric car industry. We have the 2019 numbers, for example, where 95 million cars were produced and 5 million of them were electric vehicles. These 5 million electric vehicles used 60 million ounces of silver. If we go full electric vehicle based on the 2019 numbers, that's a 20x increase in that 60 million, which is 1,200,000,000 ounces of silver that would be consumed in electric vehicles. Probably not until, who knows, maybe 2030 is, I think, their goal for having full electric vehicle use. So, that's something to look at as well for silver. That would put us in a major deficit. We actually have been in a deficit now for a few years. And so let's take a look at this article written by Jeff Clark in 2019, saying that Elon Musk secretly loves silver. And he talks about this because, CEOs like Elon Musk, they need silver to be a green company. And the fact is that the green revolution requires the use of silver. Silver is used in electric generation today. It's the highest known electrical and thermal conductivity of all metals. And it emits no carbon emissions with this green technology. So as we can see, global electricity, we can see solar is expected to increase by in relation to 2017 to 2030. We can see a major increase in that. We can see by 2050, it's estimated that solar panels and wind turbines will require 3 times more silver than what is used today. And yes, silver is also used in windmills as well. It's used in nuclear power. We have electric vehicles, estimated use in autos only going up over time. And, this is just sort of a conservative estimate. the amount of silver that's used, will reach 70 million by 2030. And like I said 1 billion, 200 million. This is very conservative. This is just saying we're going to go on a very slow increase in EV vehicles, which is probably more accurate than obviously the number that I did based on that estimate. But yeah, nuclear energy uses 56,000 ounces of silver per year. And though I think nuclear, capacity and also will increase over the next couple of years. So again, if people want to go green, they need to go silver here. So just realize that's happening. Now let's really jump into these charts. Let's look at this on the weekly here. And as we can see, I have a couple different like Fibonacci's here that I have drawn out, but you can see that this is just a downward wedge that we've been in. And usually downward wedges are bullish. So this is like a large accumulation bull flag. And then usually we see a break up. And I have some targets. I think a conservative target is maybe $18. And then, we have this sort of confluence of this Fibonacci, which is 27.57. As we can see on the weekly, this is sort of like a complicated cup and handle. And now, we can see the all-time highs around 28. We did reach up here for the silver squeeze when this is one of the most shorted companies out there. It still is pretty shorted. So, and in my opinion, it's something that you want to own if you want to own silver assets. They also have a cool benefit, which I can show you guys. The shareholder benefit, if you own 100 shares of First Majestic, you get 50 cents off the posted First Majestic silver price per ounce. And let me tell you, I've gotten these medallions that they sell in these bars, and they're really cool. So, you have to be in the stock for at least 4 weeks. But if you are, and you have 100 shares, which right now it costs you about $1,180, you're able to then buy 50 cents off metal, whenever you want. And so it's pretty cool. This is the 1 ounce bar here, or the 1 ounce medallion here. As you can see, this is the half ouncer. And then they also have the bars as well that are pretty cool. These are always sold out, the cool like cubes that they have. So we see that they kind of post their own price on the website. So right now they're selling it actually under some of the premiums that we're seeing out there for silver. So if you do want to buy some silver and you haven't, I would recommend getting some of these 1 ounce coins, or maybe even grab a kilo bar if you have an $868 to invest. Right now, most kilo bars are upwards of $900. So you would be saving a little bit. I think it costs for shipping for them, as opposed to some other companies which don't charge for shipping. Another company that I'm interested in is Endeavour Silver. So Endeavour, as you can see, we've kind of gone through this long accumulation, and then we kind of formed this like wedge pattern. It looks a little bit not as much of a falling wedge, but we do have the potential for sort of a falling wedge here as well with Endeavour. So in my opinion, we have targets upward of $8. So that's a 2x of your money to $9, at least in the short term. I do believe silver will do well here. I believe that there will be a rush to safety amongst the war that's breaking out in Europe. I do believe there's potential for cyber attacks, things like that, where people need physical metal to protect their wealth. I do believe we see market crashes where people question, what they have in the stock market. And I think that leads to wanting real, metal, real things. Take a look at the gold chart real quick. We have broken out of this wedge where we've been in this accumulation range. We've seen higher lows here. And then we see a nice, clean, strong breakout here on increase in volume. And so, yeah, I look for this to continue. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down here and then we go up. But, overall, I think gold is a very safe way to save money right now. So if you're, I think interestingly, I think cash is also good. I think that there's a place for crypto. I think that, just because it might be a scam, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't own some of it, because I do think, maybe this is just the next Ponzi scheme for the corporations and banks and things to pump for the next like 20 years, because the stock market is sort of out of this pump. We don't really have much momentum left for the stocks. So where's the next thing they can go to then pump and all this money that we printed into something? Well, I think that could be crypto, because we are moving into more of a digital world. My personal choice is Ethereum, not Bitcoin personally. So, I just personally think that they're doing a lot more in terms of green energy. They're moving to proof of stake. You can earn interest on your ETH. It's going to be a deflationary asset. So right now, I'm looking at sort of a third cash, a third Ethereum, and a third precious metals, and then a couple mining stocks as well. And so hopefully, obviously none of this is financial advice. If you haven't subscribed, please do so below here in the corner. Click the notification bell and also give it a like, and share it out if you want to. If you want to tell someone, here's the reasons to invest in silver. Just because the Fed's raising rates doesn't mean that we're not going to have inflation. There's a lot of reasons to share this out to people that tell them some of this information that I gave today. Again, hopefully you guys got something out of the video, and I will see you next time.